Namaskaram friends. So in this video, I am going to talk about important current affairs related issues of December 2023 and this is part 3. I already uploaded part 1 and part 2 videos of December 2023 current affairs and today I am uploading the part 3 of this. So let's discuss important issues which are occurring in the December 2023 and we have discussed 44 questions till now. So today we are starting with 45th question. Okay. So topic of today's discussion is Directorate of Enforcement or simply called as a ED. So 45th topic is Directorate of Enforcement, simply called as a ED, Enforcement Directorate. Okay. So what is the issue? Madras High Court on November 28 stay the summon issued by the ED Directorate of Enforcement on November 17. So ED sent a summon notice to collectors of Aryalpur, Karur, Tanjore, Tiruchi, and Vellore. But Madras High Court stay the summon of simply called ED. And these summons are recording details about all the sand quarry sites in their districts. Okay, so all the sand quarries in the district of Aryalur, Karur, Tanjore, Tiruchi. For this, ED call a summon to the collector of this district. But Madras High Court put a stay on this summons. Okay, that's why ED is in news. So what are the role ED play in the different cases? So unlike law governing other agencies, there are many law governing agencies. So unlike other agencies like CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act or simply called as a PMLA. This PMLA allows the ED, Director of Enforcement, to take cognizance of any offense under its wide-ranging schedule across the country. Okay, so PMLA give the power to the ED that they can take cognizance of any offense under its wide-ranging schedule across the country with or without the consent of the state government. This part is very important. ED do not have to take the consent of the state. It may, but it is not necessary. Without the consent of the state, ED summon, or you can say ED take the cognizance of that, you can say act. So it has therefore been able to register money laundering cases against politicians or activists based on FIR filed by state police forces. So if state police forces file FIR on an issue, then ED have the jurisdiction to file a cases against politicians and activists on these issues. And something that CBI is unable to do. Okay, so CBI cannot file a case if the FIR related to that case is registered in a particular state. For that, CBI has to take approval of the state government or order by the court or the CVC. Okay, so either CVC order it or court order it or state government requested to take that case, or if I take that case under the CBI. Okay, so ED have a more power than CBI because ED do not have to take the permission of the state government. Without the permission of the state government, they on the basis of the FIR file and on that state, ED can take action on that issue. But for CBI, it has to file cases if that case is requested by the state government or ordered by the High Court or by the CVC, Central Vigilance Commission. So okay. So in the case of CBI, it had to take permission, but in case of ED, PMLA allow them that you do not have to take permission, but you can file a case against this on the basis of your jurisdiction or your wide range jurisdiction. Okay. So this is the logo of ED, Enforcement Directorate or Directorate of Enforcement. This is a PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. This is the logo of it, and this is the logo of CVC, Central Vigilance Commission. So remember, in the case of CBI, either the state government request or permission of order by the Supreme Court or order by the CVC. But in case of ED, no consent or no request is required. So order by a court, not necessarily a Supreme Court, order by a court. It may be a Supreme Court and it may be a High Court. Okay. So I hope you understand this issue. Let's move on to the second issue, or you can say 46th issue, called tiger range country in the world. So there are 13 countries which are tiger range country, and these countries, when you look at the map of the world, you can clearly understand through the map just Russia, China, India, these three countries, then Nepal, Bhutan, and this one is Bangladesh. So these are 6 countries this side. When you go to Southeast Asia, here Myanmar, okay, this one is Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia. So 4, 3, 7. So these 7 Southeast Asian country, and these 6 East Asia and South Asia countries. So total 13 countries are tiger range countries. Okay, just remember this name with the help of the map. Okay, when you look at the map, you can clearly remember the name of this country. Okay, here Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia, Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia. 4, then Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. So total 7 this side and total 6 this side. So total 6 plus 7, 13 countries are tiger range countries. What are the goal? In 2010, these 13 countries met and adopt a goal to double their population, double the population of tiger by 2022. Okay, so in 2010, these 13 countries meet and set a goal, adopt a goal to double the tiger population till 2022. Whatever the number of the tiger population in their country, till 2022, they want to double it. And India reached the goal before that year. Okay, so before 2022, India reached the goal, and with the current population of about 3,000 tigers. So in the current population, India tigers are 3,000, and it is 70% of the global wild tiger population. So India have a 3,000 tiger population, and it is the 70% of the global tiger population. Okay. So through this map, you can clearly see the country which are a tiger range country: Russia, China, India, 3, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, 3, then Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and then Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia. So 3 this side, 4 this side. You can clearly see 3 this side and this 3 this side. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, total 13 countries. Let's move on to the next topic called North Pacific Subtropical Gyre, or NPSG. So there are some water currents in the ocean that are driven by winds and the Coriolis force form loop. So some water currents which are influenced by the wind or Coriolis force, they form the gyre. Okay, and the big gyre is present in the Pacific Ocean, and this gyre is influenced by the 4 types of current. Okay, 4 types of Californian current, Kurusu current, North Pacific current, and North Equatorial current. So these 4 current are very important because these 4 current are moving in the clockwise direction and form the gyre. So any country which are near about these currents, when they throw any plastic or any waste, they come in the contact of these currents and they are become the part of the gyre. Okay, so it is very important. We do not have to discharge our waste into these areas which form a gyre, and you can say harm the marine ecosystem as well as the life which are dependent on the ocean food. So what is the Coriolis force? Effect of Coriolis force is an apparent deflection of the path of an object that moves within a rotating coordinate axis. Okay, so effect of the Coriolis force, that if anything come under the rotating coordinating system, that thing apparently look like it deflected from its path, like Earth is moving, like a rotating. You can clearly see when you go in a festival, a rotating wheel or rotating, you can say, disc is there. People are sitting on different position, like someone here, someone here, someone here. When you throw a ball from the center to a person B, it do not directly go to the person. Because that red ring is moving. So that ball is, if you throw it in this direction, that ball is deflected a bit like this. This is due to the movement of this ring. So in the same manner, our Earth is moving. Okay, so currents are not directly in the same direction. They are due to Coriolis force, they are deflected from their path. Okay, so in northern hemisphere, it is moving in a clockwise direction, and in southern it is a anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so effect of the Coriolis force is an apparent deflection of the path of an object. It is an apparent deflection of the path of an object that moves within a rotating coordination system, and that object is moving within the rotating coordinated system. Like in case of Earth, or here, object you can consider as a current, and coordinate system you can consider as a Earth. Okay, so currents are deflected from its path. In north side it is in a clockwise direction, in south side it is an anti-clockwise direction. So these are called gyres. Gyres means when some water currents in the ocean driven by winds and Coriolis force form a loop that is called gyres. The NPHG North Pacific subtropical gyre is one such, and located just north of the equator in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, when you look at the map, you can clearly see this is the gyre. It is located in the north of the Pacific Ocean. Okay, this is the north of the Pacific Ocean, because here you clearly see this is Japan, this is the east coast of America, and here some Southeast Asian, not East Asian countries. So this NPHG consists of North Pacific, California, and North Equatorial current, and moves in a clockwise direction. Because it is a North Pacific, so we know that on planet Earth, due to Coriolis force, currents are moving in the clockwise direction in the north side, and the south side it is in anti-clockwise direction. So this NPHG is influenced by Crucio, North Pacific, North Equatorial, and California current, and move in a clockwise direction. Okay, and these currents flow adjacent to the 51 Pacific Rim country. Okay, so you can clearly see in this map, these blue one are a Pacific, just a minute, Pacific Rim country, and NPHG gyre is formed in here. It is formed near these 51 PRC, Pacific Rim countries. So any trace that enter one of these currents, one of these four currents, from any of these countries, any of these 51 countries, could become a part of the gyre. Okay, so any trace enter any of these four currents from any of these 551 countries could become the part of the gyre. So it is very important, because Pacific Rim, there are 51 Pacific rich countries, and there are four important currents which are helping to form a gyre in the North Pacific. Okay, and this gyre is in a clockwise direction. So I hope you understand about North Pacific subtropical gyre. Let's move on to the next topic called tuberculosis, or simply called it TB. So TB is caused by a bacteria called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Remember the name, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. TB is caused due to this bacteria. And this TB affected, or this bacteria affected the lungs of a human being. Okay, so TB is a curable and preventable. Remember, this disease is curable as well as preventable. We can prevent it as well as we can cure it. And TB is spread from the person to person through air. So air is an important medium for the spread of TB, and it is spread from person to person, not from animal to person or animal to animal. It is spread from person to person. It is curable, preventable, as well as the medium is air. When people with lung TB cough, sneeze, or spit, they propel a TB germ into the air. Okay, if any patient coughs, sneeze, or spit, they propel the germ in the air. And when any other person breathe that air, they are infected from this virus. I'm sorry, from this bacteria. So a person needs to inhale only a few of these germs to become infected. Okay, not on a large amount. Only a few germs are, you can say, only few germs are needed for the infection of TB. So microbiological confirmation on sputum, chest X-ray screening, etc. are some of the methods used to screen TB. So for screening of the TB, two important methods are very important. First one is microbiological confirmation on sputum, and second, chest X-ray screening. So chest X-ray screening is one method, and microbiological confirmation on sputum is a second method. So sputum tests are very important in diagnosing TB. So paying attention to the detail of the collecting good sputum sample is very important. Sputum play a very important role in terms of diagnosis of TB. So collecting a good sputum is very important for diagnosing a clear case of TB. And collector have to give detailed importance on the collection or on the sample of sputum. Okay, so through this picture, you can clearly see this guy is infected from a TB, and this bacteria, that guy inhales some infected air and infected with the TB. Let's move on to the next topic called WTO, or World Trade Organization. WTO is an only global international organization dealing with the rules of trade between nations. Okay, so WTO is the only international organization which are dealing with the trade between two nations. Okay, between this nation to that nation, between this nation to that nation. So if trade is going on, if any organization have to set the rules of a trade between the two nations, that organization is WTO, and it is the only international organization, okay, regarding this issue. Sorry. So WTO as an institution was established in 1995. Remember, in 1995, WTO as an institution was established, and it replaced GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, which was in place since 1946. Okay, so since 1946, GATT was in place. But WTO is formed in 1995 and replaced the GATT, but not its functioning. It replaces the GATT, but some of its functioning. GATT is not abolished. GATT is come under the WTO. Okay. So WTO officially commenced on January 1st, 1995 under the Maracas Agreement signed by 123 nations on 15 April 19. I think there is some problem with the pen. Yeah, I'm sorry. So WTO as an institution was established in 1995 and it replaces the GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, which was in place since 1946. So WTO officially commenced on 1st January 1995 under the Maracas Agreement and signed by 123 countries on 15 April 1994. So on 15th of April 1994, 123 countries signed the Maracas Agreement, and on 1st of January 1995, WTO come into force. India has been a member part of a founding member of WTO. While WTO came into existence in 1995, GATT did not cease to exist. It is very important. Many people see that WTO replaces the GATT, so the GATT is ceased to exist. No, WTO come into force in 1995, but GATT did not cease to exist. GATT is replaced by the WTO, and GATT is in action since 1946. Okay. So it continues a WTO umbrella treaty for trade in goods. Okay, so the GATT is a WTO umbrella treaty in trade of goods. So through this picture, you can clearly see WTO office where rules are framed for the trade between two countries. So remember that GATT in 1946 since 1946 it is in action. In 14 April 1994. WTO come into 123 countries signed and WTO form, but it come into force on 1st of January 1995, and it replaces the GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. Okay, and but WTO GATT is not ceased to exist. It come under the WTO come under the umbrella of GATT in terms of trade of goods. Okay, let's talk about next topic called turmeric. So the Indian government has officially established a national turmeric board. It is very important because from a very long time, people are demanding of the establishment of NTB, National Turmeric Board. So Indian government has officially established NTB, responding to a long-standing demand from the turmeric farmers across the country. So across the country, it is a demand of the farmer to establish the NTB. So Indian government now established NTB, National Turmeric Board. The board under the Union Cabinet, Union Commerce Ministry. Remember, this board is come under the Union Commerce Ministry, will be dedicated to the development and growth of the turmeric and turmeric related products in India. So this NTB, National Turmeric Board, come under the Union Commerce Ministry, and its goal is this NTB dedicated for the development and growth of the turmeric and turmeric related projects. Okay, because NTB related to turmeric, so it is goal related to turmeric and its development of its product. India is a leading producer as well as exporter of the turmeric in the world. Remember, very important. We are the leading producer as well as leading exporter. The largest producing state of turmeric are Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, mostly of south country. Okay, so Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra, Karnataka in one geographical area. Telangana, some east of it, and Tamil Nadu, some south of it. So these four countries are the leading turmeric producing state. India has more than 62% share of the world trade in turmeric. Okay, so it is a very large chunk. 62% of the world trade we occupy in case of turmeric. So turmeric, what is turmeric? It is a spice that comes from the root of the curcuma longa plant. Okay, through this picture, this is a curcuma longa plant. So from the root of this plant, we extract turmeric. And this, you can clearly see, this is the picture of turmeric. This is the root of the curcuma plant, and we create turmeric out of it, and in the form of tablet also for the cleansing purpose of the body. So turmeric is a spice that comes from the root of the curcuma longa plant. It is a relative of ginger and has been used in cooking for hundreds of years. Okay, so we use turmeric in cooking from hundreds of years, and it is a species or relative of ginger. So remember the curcuma longa plant, root of the curcuma longa plant is, we used this root as extracting turmeric. Now let's move on to the next topic called palm oil. So palm oil is an edible vegetable oil. It is an edible, remember, it is edible vegetable oil that comes from the fruit of oil palm tree. So this palm oil, it comes from the fruit of the oil palm tree. In this picture, you can clearly see. I do not put the picture of tree of the oil palm, but you can clearly see these fruit are come from the oil palm tree. So we use this fruit for extracting palm oil. It is most widely used vegetable oil in the world. Okay, so it is the most widely used. Remember, palm oil, and it's found in about 60% of the all packaged product in the supermarket. When you go to the supermarket and you see different products where oil are used, so 60% of the oil are palm oil. Palm oil is used in food manufacturing, beauty product, biofuel, and cookies. So these are four important areas. In food manufacturing, beauty product, biofuel, and cookies. In these four areas, we use palm oil on a large amount. So there are two types of palm oil. First, crude palm oil. Second, palm kernel oil. So crude palm oil comes from the squeezing of the fleshy fruit. You see in this picture, these are a red fleshy fruit, you can say, pulp, or you can say fleshy fruit. So when we squeeze this fleshy fruit, we get a oil which is called a crude palm oil. What is palm kernel oil? When we crush the kernel, which is the stone in the middle of the fruit. You can clearly see in this picture, this white one. So these are the core of the palm fruit. So when we crush it and then extract the oil, it is called the kernel palm oil. So there are two types of oil. First, squeezing the fleshy fruit, and second, crushing the kernel. What is kernel? It is the stone in the middle of the fruit. You can clearly see in this picture, this white one. So major all palm growing state in India include Andhra, Telangana, and Kerala. So these three, Andhra, Telangana, and Kerala, are three major palm oil growing states, and which account of 98% of the total production. So these three states are form the 98% of total production in our country. So remember, of the total production of our country, 98% comes from these three states. So I hope you understand about palm oil. Let's talk about next topic called Coral Reef Breakthrough, or CRB. So what is CRB? International Coral Reef Initiative, or ICRI, in collaboration with GFCR and HLCC. So International Coral Reef Initiative, or ICRI, in collaboration with the Global Fund for Coral Reefs, or GFCR, and High Level Climate Champions, or HLCC, has launched a CRB. So ICRA, in collaboration with GFCR and HLCC, launched the CRB, or Coral Reef Breakthrough. This initiative aimed to safeguard at least 125,000 square kilometers of shallow water tropical coral reef. Remember, shallow water tropical coral reef. So through this initiative, they tried to safeguard 125,000 square kilometers of shallow water tropical coral reef by 2030 through the investment of at least $12 billion. The CRB will focus on 4 actions. What are the 4 actions? First, mitigating local drivers of loss. These local drivers are land-based pollution, coastal development, and overfishing. So we have to mitigate these local driver of loss. We reduce land-based pollution, then reduce the coastal development, mitigate it, and then mitigate the overfishing. So first one is mitigating local driver of loss. Second one is doubling the area of the coral reefs. So under effective protection by aligning with the global coastal protection target. So in align with the global coastal protection target, we double the area of the coral reef. This is the second one. This is the first one. Third one is accelerating the restoration effort to impact 30% of the degraded reef by 2030. Okay. So in third one, we restore the degraded coral reef. In fourth one, securing investment of at least $12 billion by 2030 from public and private sources to conserve and restore coral ecosystem. Okay, so there are four important. First, mitigate local driver of loss. Second, increase its area, then restore it, and then collect, you can say secure investment in this area at least $12 billion. So first mitigate it, then double the area, then accelerate the restoration, and then secure the investment for the you can say conservation purpose as well as restoration of coral ecosystem. And these restoration securing instruments from public as well as from private sector. So through this picture, we can clearly see these are the beautiful coral reefs, and we have to conserve it through four important action which I described above. And this this is launched by the ICRI in collaboration with GFCR and HLCC. So global coral reef breakthrough is launched in launched by ICRI in collaboration with GFCR and HLCC. So let's talk about next topic called Amazon River dolphin. So the Amazon River dolphin, simply called Inia geofrancis, is a species of toothed whale. Amazon River dolphin is a species of toothed whale that lives in the rainforest river of South America. So these dolphins are lived in the rainforest river of South America in Amazon forest. In Amazon forest, there are rainforest river. In that river, these Amazon River dolphins are living. There are also known as Boto, Bufio, or pink river dolphin. Why pink? Why pink river dolphin? Because their color are in pink. They are very beautiful pink looking fishes or dolphins. So it is known for their striking pink color, are a unique freshwater species. Why it is pink? Because they have a striking pink color and they are a unique freshwater species. Many dolphins are saltwater, but these are a freshwater species in the South America and face vulnerability due to slow reproductive cycle. So remember, they facing vulnerability due to this issue, slow reproductive cycle. They are found in the South America. They are a freshwater species. They are a species of the toothed whale. Okay, and their other names are Boto, Bufio, or pink river dolphin. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic called olive ridley turtles. Olive ridley turtles are one of the smallest sea turtle species. One of the, not the smallest. Olive ridley turtles are one of the smallest sea turtles. They are named for the olive green color of their heart-shaped shell. In this picture, you can clearly see these are the heart-shaped shell, and its color is olive green. That's why it's named olive ridley turtle. They are found primarily in the tropical region of the Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Ocean. Remember, in all these three oceans, Pacific, Indian, Atlantic, because they are tropical regions of the ocean. So they are found primarily. They're found on other oceans or in other oceans also, but primarily in these tropical region of Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Ocean. What are their protection status under the Wildlife Protection Act or WPA 1972? It is Schedule 1. It is most of very, you can say, important protection is given here. In IUCN Red List, it is vulnerable, also a threat. In CITES, it is Appendix 1. So this is a vulnerable. In IUCN, it is vulnerable, and highest protection is given in CITES as well as in WPA. In WPA, Schedule 1, in CITES, Appendix 1, in IUCN, its status is vulnerable. So we have to protect it. And it's why they are in threat, why olive ridley are in threat, mainly due to their, you can say, this is not talking about olive ridley status, but they are in threat due to lightning as well as due to the pollution. because they do not breed in a light, but in the coastal region, development take place and people use light in night also. So they are, this affect their breeding. So due to pollution and due to lightning, they are in a vulnerable category. Let's move to the next topic called CDSL. So CDSL, or simply called as a Central Depository Service India Limited. Central Depository Service India Limited is a government registered share depository. So CDSL is a government registered share depository alongside with other state-owned counterpart, National Security Depository Limited, or NSDL. Okay, so CDSL is a government registered and alongside with other state-owned counterpart called NSDL. Share depository holds share in an electronic or dematerialized form. So share depositor who deposit their share or hold their share in the electronic form or dematerialized form, and or enabler for security transaction, and who hold the share are enabled for security transaction, playing a somewhat similar role to what bank play in handling cash and fixed deposit. So like banks which are playing with the fixed and cash and fixed deposit, handling cash and fixed deposit, share depositor work like that, but in terms of share, not in terms of money. So it is work like same as a bank, but bank dealing with money, but this NSDL and CDSL deal with share. While bank help customer keep their cash in electronic form, share depositor help consumers store their shares in dematerialized form. What I talk about it. Okay. So CDSL was found in 1999. In 1999, CDSL, Central Depository Services, Central Depository Services are formed in 1999. So it is a market infrastructure institution. It is a MII, market institution infrastructure, that is deemed as a crucial part of the capital market. It is deemed, CDSL is deemed as a crucial part in the capital market because it deals with share, and share come under the capital market, mostly, not always, but mostly. Providing services to all market participants, including exchanges, clearing corporation, depository participant, issuer, and investor. So it is dealing with all types of customers, like who exchanges their shares, who are like clearing corporation, who are dealing in shares, for depository participant who want to deposit, and for issuer as well as investor who are dealing with in terms of share. So CDSL is a MII and is a crucial part of the capital market and dealing with the different types of stakeholders. What is a clearing corporation? A clearing corporation is an organization or entity affiliated with the stock exchange, whose primary objective is to oversee the handling of the confirmation, settlement, and delivery of transaction. They are also referred to as a clearing firm or clearing house. Okay, so I talk about here what is clearing corporation. It is basically entity affiliated with the stock exchange, oversee the handling of confirmation, settlement, and delivery of transaction. So this is a CDSL, Central Depository Services, and alongside with State National Depository Services Limited. Like bank, it is work like a bank, but bank deal in cash, but NSDL or CDSL deal in shares. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic called emission from livestock. So emission from livestock mainly include three types of gases: carbon dioxide from urea, nitrous oxide from livestock dung and urine, and methane from bleaching, among others. So from bleaching, methane is produced. From livestock dung and urine, nitrous oxide is produced, and from the urea, carbon dioxide is produced. Farmers use urea in their field, so CO2 produces. Through livestock dung and urine, nitrous oxide is produced, and through bleaching, methane is produced. And these are the you can say greenhouse gases and harmful for our environment. So they contribute to the greenhouse effect, and due to these gases, heat gets trapped around the surface of the earth and cause global warming. Okay, so these gases are important contributor in greenhouse effect as well as in global warming. According to the IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the global warming potential of a gas is a metric that helps measure. So through GWP, global warming potential, we measure their potential, their effect on our environment or on our planet Earth. So the radioactive effect. What is radioactive effect? Determined by the ability of to absorb energy. So the radioactive effect of each unit of gas of nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, methane. So the radioactive effect, this effect is determined by the ability to absorb energy. Okay. So the radioactive effect of each unit of gas over a specific period of time, such as 100 years, as expressed relative to the radioactive effect of the CO2. So radioactive effect of each unit of gases of, let's say, CO2, nitrous oxide, methane is expressed as a relative to the radioactive effect of CO2. So any gas related to the CO2. So radioactive effect of any gas related to radioactive effect of CO2 measure the ability to absorb energy of that gas. So like it measures the GWP, global warming potential is measured by the radioactive effect of other gases related to radioactive gas of CO2 over a period of time called 100 years. So simple formula. If we want to measure GWP, so we find the radioactive effect of other gases related to radioactive effect of CO2 over a period of time called 100 years. Okay. So through GWP, global warming potential, we know gases such as nitrous oxide and methane produces more heat around the Earth's surface than carbon dioxide, which is taken as a reference. So through GWP, we know that nitrous oxide and methane produces more energy than CO2 because radioactive effect of nitrous oxide, methane is more than CO2. We take CO2 as a reference. So let's say if we take here a nitrous oxide, this come as a 1.2. When take as a methane, it come as a 1.3. But when we take CO2, it come as a 1. So radioactive effect of methane and nitrous oxide is more than carbon dioxide. And we take carbon dioxide as a reference. So it absorbs more energy than CO2, but stay in the atmosphere for a shorter duration. And it is also important. This nitrous oxide and methane absorb more energy, but they stay in the environment for a less amount of time. But CO2, though absorb less energy, but stay in the environment for larger amount of time. So over a 20-year period, it has 80 times more GWP than the CO2, according to the UNEP website. So in case of GWP, methane and nitrous oxide, if we take a period of a 20 years, so methane and carbon dioxide has 80 times more GWP than the carbon dioxide. Remember, absorbing energy potential of nitrous oxide and methane is more than carbon dioxide, but in the environment, carbon dioxide stay for a longer duration than methane and nitrous oxide. So it is very, very important. When we measure GWP, we remember formula, radioactive potential of other gases related to carbon dioxide, it is absorbing capacity as well as who stay in the environment for the most number of years and who produces more energy. So through this picture, you can clearly see through bleaching, CH4 is released, through cow dung, CH4, NO2 and CO2 is released. And through bleaching, CH4, through urea, nitrous oxide. Remember, urea, nitrous oxide, bleaching, methane, and cow dung air urine. This I think carbon dioxide. No? I'm sorry, just forgot. Carbon dioxide is from urea, methane is from bleaching, and nitrous oxide is from livestock. So here nitrous oxide through cow dung and urine, through urea, CO2, just a minute. Through urea, which we use in our field, which farmers use in their field, CO2 is released. Through cow dung and urine, nitrous oxide is released, and through bleach, methane is released. So remember, here GWP is higher, nitrous oxide and methane GWP is higher than CO2, but in the environment, CO2 long last. So I hope through this you clearly see CO2, methane, nitrous oxide are contributing in greenhouse gas, and they trap the energy near the earth and contributing into the global warming. So I hope you understand this topic. Okay. So let's take a 5-minute break, then we restart it. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic, okay, called total lunar eclipse. So the total lunar eclipse occurs when Earth casts its shadow completely over a full moon. Okay, so here is the sun, here is the Earth, and moon is rotating. So when Earth casts its shadow completely over the full moon, so let's say full moon is occurring here and sun is there. So when Earth casts its shadow on moon, then a total lunar eclipse occurs. So when total lunar eclipse occurs, uh, Earth is here, sun is here, and moon is here. So when Earth restrict, or you can say hinder the light of the sun to reaching to the moon and casts its complete shadow on the moon, then total lunar eclipse occurs. So blocking reflection of all direct sunlight from the lunar orb. So Earth blocking the reflection of all direct sunlight from the lunar orb and dimming the color of the moon to a reddish hue, hence the form blood moon. So on a full moon day, during the total lunar eclipse of blood moon types of moonage, you can clearly see. So position of this side moon, here Earth, and here sun. So during this time, you can clearly see total lunar eclipse, and it is occur on the full moon day. And you can clearly see different types of moon and simply called blood moon due to because it reflection of all direct sunlight is absorbed by the Earth, and in this case, moon look like a reddish hue. Okay, this is only possible when the orbit of the Earth, moon, and sun align so that the moon is directly behind Earth related to the sun. So moon is here, Earth is here, sun is here. So moon is directly behind the Earth, and this sun, Earth, and moon are in a linear, in a line. Then total lunar eclipse occur only when these three are in a linear and Earth cast a complete shadow on the moon and restrict the light of the sun. And due to this, reddish hue types moon is visible. We clearly call it as a red blood moon, not red blood moon, only blood moon. So otherwise, if not that happen, if the linear position between Earth, Moon, and Sun is not happen, the Moon passes above or below Earth's shadow because its orbit around the Earth is usually tilted 5 degrees relative to the Earth orbit around the Sun. So, what is the orbit of Earth relative to Sun? Moon is relatively from that reference is 5 degrees more tilted. So when they are not linear, let's say moon is here, Earth is here, sun is here. So moon may go up and down, and then if they are not linear, that means moon go slightly up, slightly down, and the orbit, or you can say orbit of moon relative to Earth is 5 degrees more than orbit of Earth relative to sun. So it not completely hidden from the Earth, and we do not see the total lunar eclipse. So linearity alignment of these three celestial objects is very, very important for the total lunar eclipse. So the reddish appearance of the lunar surface. The moon does not entirely disappear from view. This reddish appearance means moon does not entirely disappear from the view because ray of sunlight around the outer edge of the eclipse shadow or umbra being filtered and reflected as it passes through the Earth atmosphere. Why on that day the moon is not completely disappear? Because sunlight around the outer edge of the eclipse shadow or umbra, we call it as umbra, or you can say outer edge of the eclipse is called umbra, being filtered and reflected as it passes through the Earth atmosphere. Rays, see, Earth is blocking the moon, but atmosphere of Earth, when sun rays are going there, that ray is called filtered and then passes through Earth to the moon, and moon is visible like a red because its outer surface of moon is visible like a red, and being the moon indirectly in a dim copper glow, and and in that position we see moon as a dim copper glow. Okay, because it is completely restricted, Earth completely restricted the shadow, but some rays which are due to the atmosphere of Earth filtered from it and reaches to the outer core of the moon. And due to that color, moon look like in a copper glow color, copper glow color. So the degree of redness depend on the atmospheric condition. Okay, if atmospheric condition is very bad, then we do not see the moon. If some good, then we see gray one or copper one. If much more, then we see a slightly lighter than this. So that vary with the level of air pollution, dust storm, wildfire smoke, and even volcano gas. So this air pollution, dust storm, wildfire, and volcano has created a, you can say, obstacle in the path of the rays, sun rays. So TIE, total lunar eclipse, TEE, occur on average about once every year and a half. So average occurring time of the total lunar eclipse is 105 years according to NASA, but the interval vary. It may be sometimes 1 year, it may be sometimes 2 years, it may be sometimes 1.6 months. So it vary, but average is 1.5 year according to NASA. Okay, this is a very reputed and well-known astronomical institution. So you can clearly see through this picture, this side sun, here Earth, here moon. So Earth cast a complete shadow on the moon, and some rays are reflected due to the atmospheric condition of the Earth and reaches to the outer core of the moon, and we see moon in a copper red glow color. So umbra is this and penumbra is this. This part, this black part is called umbra, which is completely shadowed by the Earth, and this penumbra part, which is, you can say, some rays which is reflected due to atmospheric condition of Earth, is called penumbra, and due to this we see a copper glow color of the moon. You can clearly see this picture, copper red glow color of the moon. This is a full moon, and on a total lunar eclipse day. In this image, you can clearly see this moon, Earth, and sun. So 5 degrees. This white one is the orbit of Earth, and this, you can clearly see, orbit of Earth relative to moon is 23.5 degree, and this white one is the orbit of the moon, and this is the orbit of the Earth. You can clearly see this. Okay, this is not clearly visible in this, but in this picture you can clearly see this red one is the orbit of the Earth elliptical plane, and this one is the orbit of the moon. So orbit of the Earth is 23.5 degree, and relative to it, orbit of the moon is slightly 5 degree more, or 5 degree vary from the orbit of the Earth. So in respect to Earth, orbit of moon is 5 degree more. So that's why if they are not aligned, then we do not see the phenomenon of total lunar eclipse. So alignment is a very important concept here. Here you can clearly see also, I show you the orbit of the Earth, orbit of the moon, and their relative difference called 5 degree, 5.14 degree inclination. So this green one is Earth, and Earth orbit period or orbit location angle, and this red one is the moon orbit location. So these are slightly vary 5% from each other. Let's move on to the next topic called National Food Security Act, NFSA 2013. So NFSA 2030 expanded the coverage of PDS, public distribution system, sustainably. So this act is very important because due to this, coverage of PDS is expanded. The law mandate that 50% of the urban and 75% of the rural population must be covered by the PDS. This act, NFSA Act, mandate that 50% of urban population and 75% of rural, remember rural one is more than urban, population must be covered under the PDS. So if question is asked that through which act this criteria is set, so we have to remember through NFSA Act 2030. So NFSA required that latest complete census to be used to calculate the total PDS coverage. So through by NFSA Act, we use the latest survey to calculate the total PDS coverage. So some states use their own budget to top up PDS coverage through the open market sale scheme or OMSS, for example, Tamil Nadu, or the local procurement, for example, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. So some state like Tamil Nadu as well as Odisha and Chhattisgarh uses their own budget to top up their PDS coverage. Let's say PDS coverage is through central government, it's this, but state government use their own budget and increase to this level. So example of in Tamil Nadu is called open market sale scheme or OMSS, and in Odisha and Chhattisgarh is called local procurement. So these through OMSS and local procurement are coverage of top up coverage of PDS through the budget of the state government. Okay. So let's move on to the next topic called dark matter. See, dark matter is a hypothetical form of matter thought to account for approximately 85% of the matter in the universe. So it is a hypothetical form of the matter, and it is thought that it constitutes 85% of the matter in the universe. Total matter of the universe, whatever the total matter of the universe, 85% of it is a dark matter. Okay. Scientists said that the reason we are unable to see or detect this invisible matter is that it does not interact with electromagnetic forces. Matter which interact with electromagnetic forces, we see it, we analyze it, but dark matter do not, you can say, interact with electromagnetic forces like things like visual light, X-ray, and radio waves. So visual light, X-ray, and radio waves are electromagnetic waves, and dark matters are not interact with it, so we cannot see that matters. They argue that we can, however, observe some of the effect of the dark matter through its gravitational force. We do not see it, but we observe it through the effect of dark matter through the gravitational force. Okay, they you can say impact gravitational force somewhere here and there, and due to which we observe the dark matter phenomena. We know that you can say their property due to gravitational force, we observe the dark matter because they release some of their energy with the with the help of the gravitational force, or you can say in the gravitational force manner they can exhibit energy or exit energy. But we still want to detect dark matter in its own right, and here is where Sun Large Hadron Collider comes in. So Sun's LHC come to detect the dark matter, and we know why we do not understand the dark matter or see it, because it do not interact with the electromagnetic forces, but through its gravitational force, it you can say interact with gravitational force. So by its gravitational force, interaction with gravitational force, we observe some of the effect of the dark matter. So I hope you understand it. Remember, 85% of total matter is dark matter, and we do not see it because it is not interacted with these forces. It interacted with gravitational forces. That's why we observe some of its effects, and we want to see it or understand it on its own right. And the Sun Large Hadron Collider working on this issue. Let's move on to the next topic called Nobel Prize. What is Nobel Prize? It encompasses several categories, including peace, literature, physics, chemistry, physiology or medicine, and economic sciences. So 7 areas: physics, chemistry, physiology, and medicine. Okay, then economic, peace, literature, and physics. And in all these 7 categories, Indian scientist or Indian author received Nobel Prize in all these 7 categories. Okay, we see the name of all the writers, authors, and scientists who are got Nobel Prize in these 7 categories. So the Nobel Foundation, it is a private institution established in 1900, oversee the administration of the prizes and ensure the independence of the prize awarding institution. So this Nobel Foundation, which is a private institution, which are established in 1900, observe the administration of the prizes as well as independence of the prize institution. The Nobel Prize in literature is awarded every year to honor authors whose work focus on idealism. So in literature, Nobel Prize is awarded every year. Remember, maybe not in other field, but in literature, Nobel Prize is awarded every year to honor the work focus on idealism. Indian individuals and their Nobel Prize winning work. Okay, let's see the name of the first Rabindranath Tagore. He got Nobel Prize in poetic and artistic contribution in the field of literature. So in the field of literature, he got Nobel Prize in 1913 in poetic and artistic contribution. C.V. Raman got it in physics for its work like discovery of the Raman effect in 1913. Hargobind Khurana in 1968 in the field of medicine for his work of interpretation of the genetic code. Yes. Yes. Yeah, sorry for disturbance. So we are on the name of the individuals who got Nobel Prize in different categories. So we are on Harvind Khurana. So Harvind Khurana got Nobel Prize in 1968 in the field of medicine, and his work is interpretation of the genetic code. So remember, Rabindranath Tagore in literature, C.V. Raman in physics, Hargobind Khurana in medicine. Mother Teresa in 1979 got Nobel Prize in peace, and her work is humanitarian work and services to the poor. So work of Mother Teresa is humanitarian work and services to the poor, and in peace they got Nobel Prize. She got Nobel Prize in 1979. Subramaniam Chandrasekhar got Nobel Prize in the field of physics, and his work are stellar structure and evolution. Dalai Lama got Nobel Prize in 1989 in the field of peace, and his work is advocacy for peace and human rights. So remember, category is different. Here literature, here physics, here medicine, then peace, then physics and peace are repeated here again. Then Amartya Sen in 1998 in the field of economics, and his work is welfare economics and poverty alleviation. Venkatraman Ramakrishnan in 2009 in the field of chemistry, and his work is ribosome structure and function. Kailash Satyarthi in 2014 in the field of peace, and his work is child right and anti-child labor activism. So remember, peace, chemistry, economics, physics, medicine, and literature. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Peace, chemistry, economics. Peace, chemistry, economics. Then physics, medicine, and literature. So 6 categories. Here I think 7. No? Peace, literature, physics, chemistry, medicine, and economics. No, here also 6. So in all the 6 categories. I'm sorry. Earlier I called it 7. So all the 6 categories in literature, physics, medicine, chemistry, literature, peace, as well as in economics. So in all these 6 categories, Indian scientists, writers, and poets got Nobel Prize, and their work are different in different. Maybe there is same category, but their work are different. Like in case of field, in Dalai Lama got in the advocacy of peace and human right, and Kailash Satyarthi child right and anti-child labor activism. In physics, Subramaniam Chandrasekhar for stellar structure and evolution, and C.V. Raman on the discovery of the Raman effect. So let's move on to the other important facts about Nobel Prize. So Nobel Peace Prize is awarded in Norway, while the other Nobel Prizes are awarded in Sweden. So it is very, very important. Only Peace Prize is awarded in Norway. Other prizes like physics, medicine, chemistry, economics, as well as literature is awarded in Sweden. So Peace Prize in Norway, others are in Sweden. This tradition date back to 1901 when the Nobel Peace Prize was established, and his continued ever since. So in 1901, we got people receive Nobel Prize in Norway, and since then this is a tradition, and ever since everyone who got Peace Prize go to Norway and receive that award, or maybe other people on behalf of them. So this is a picture of Nobel Peace Prize, Alfred Nobel, on the name of which this Nobel Foundation created, and they give they give different prizes in 6 different various categories. So let's move on to the next topic called Armenia. Armenia is a landlocked country. When you look at the map, you can clearly see Armenia is a landlocked country. This side Germany, on the west side Germany, on the east side Azerbaijan, north side Russia, south side Iraq. So Armenia is a landlocked country. And in the mountains Caucasus region between Asia and Europe. And when you look other map, is just forget to put it here, but it is a landlocked country because they are surrounded by the various country, and also in the mountainous Caucasus region between Asia and Europe. In Asia and Europe, there is a mountainous Caucasus region, and in that area, Armenia is located. Capital of Armenia is Yerevan. Yerevan is the capital of Armenia. Armenia was the first state to adopt Christianity as its official religion. Remember, no other country adopt Christianity as its official religion. Maybe some are secular, some adopt more than one religion, but Armenia was the first state to adopt Christianity as its state. Nowadays, many countries adopted it, but Armenia is the first state who adopted Christianity as its official language. It underwent the Armenian genocide during World War I. Armenia underwent a Armenian genocide during World War I. Very, very important event. After a period of independence and Soviet rule, it became independent in 1991. Okay, so after a period of independence and Soviet rule, earlier it is under the different Soviets rule here, as well as they are under different colony. But after they got independence in 1991. So I think different what Russia. So after a period of independence and Soviet rule, it became independent in 1991. So you can clearly see here the picture of Armenia, landlocked country and in the region of Caucasus between Asia and Europe. Let's move on to the next topic called India-Japan Fund or IJF. The National Investment in Infrastructure Fund, NIIF, has partnered with the Japan Bank of International Cooperation, JBIC, Japan Bank of International Cooperation, to establish a $600 million India-Japan Fund, IJF, with the Government of India and JBIC as a primary investor. So NIIF, in partner with the JBIC, established a $600 million India-Japan Fund. This is the Government of India, JBIC as a primary investor. So in this IJF fund, Government of India, JBIC are the primary investor. NIIF, with the help of JBIC, form this fund. So remember, NIIF is a National Investment Infrastructure Fund with JBIC created a this one is a Indian government on fund. So NIIF and JBIC created a 600 million fund, and in Government of India and JBIC are the primary investor because these two are founding it. So they are a primary investor. Other country may invest in it, but Indian government and Japan, JBIC is a primary investor. This collaboration reflects the significant joint effort between India and Japan in the field of climate and environmental sustainability. And this fund is primarily focused on the climate and environmental work. The IJF and IIF first bilateral fund with the Government of India contributed 49% of the total fund, while the JBIC contributed to the remaining 51%. So in this fund, which is created with the help of IJF and IIF, Government of India contribution is 49% and JBIC contribution is 51%. The primary focus of the IJF, India-Japan Fund, is to invest in the environmental sustainability, what I talk about it, and low carbon emission strategy, which is very important to reduce the climate change or reach the goal of climate change, protect our environment, and protect the biodiversity. So IJF is focused on environment sustainability and low carbon emission strategy. Its objective is to become preferred partner for encouraging increased Japanese investment in India. So what is the objective of this fund? Its fund objective is to preferred partner to encourage increased Japanese investments in India. So to increase Japanese investment in India, the objective of this fund is to increase the Japanese investment in India as a preferred partner. May other comes and invest it, but to to choose Japan as a preferred partner, we invest in the IJF. So through this picture, you can clearly see Japanese leader and Indian leader signed an MOU and created the IJF. And this fund is focused on the environment, in the field of environment, sustainability, and low carbon emission. Let's move on to the next topic called National Investment Infrastructure Fund, NIIF, which we talk about on the above slide. NIIF, with the help of JBIC, created a IJF fund. So what is NIIF? Formed in 2015 and office located in New Delhi. So NIIF formed in the 2015 and its office is located in New Delhi. It is a government-backed Category 2 alternative investment fund. So remember, NIIF is a government-backed. It is a Category 2 alternative investment fund. There are various categories of alternative investment fund, and this one is a Category 2 type, created to offer a long-term financial support to the Indian infrastructure sector. So Category 2 AIF is created to finance the infrastructure project for a long duration. The Indian government holds 49% of the stake in IIF, while the remaining share are owned by the both foreign and domestic investors. In NIIF, Indian government holds 49% and the remaining 41% is owned by the foreign and domestic investor. And in IJF, also Indian government holds 49%, the remaining 51% is by the Japan. And in NIIF, also Indian government 49% and remaining one is here 49% is government of India, 51% is Japan. Here 49% is government of India, 51% is the domestic as well as foreign investors. So in both the cases, in IIF and IJF, Indian government stake is 49%, but here 51% is by Japan and here 51% private and domestic investors. Due to the sustainable government ownership, okay, NIIF is often regarded as India's quasi-sovereign wealth fund. Okay. It is a government backed, that's why many people consider as a sovereign wealth fund, India's quasi-sovereign wealth fund, not complete quasi-sovereign. So this is the logo of NIA, National Investment Infrastructure Fund, and it is this is created for the funding the long-term infrastructure project in our country. So let's move on to the next topic called BOD, biochemical oxygen demand. What is biochemical oxygen demand? Fecal coliforms are a group of bacteria found in the gut and feces of the warm-blooded animal. So fecal bacteria are a group of bacteria found in the gut and feces of warm-blooded animal. So remember, they are found in the gut as well as feces of the warm-blooded animal, fecal bacteria. Their presence indicates that the water has been contaminated with the fecal material or human or other animal. So when the presence of fecal coliform is found, it indicates that water is contaminated by the fecal material of the human or other animals, while enter river through the discharge of untreated sewage, and it enter the river system by untreated discharge of sewage. So BOD is a measure of the oxygen required by the aerobic microorganism to biochemically oxidize the organic matter. So what is the measurement of BOD? What is the role of BOD? So BOD measures the oxygen required by the aerobic microorganism who are doing their process in the water with the help of air, with the help of oxygen. So BOD measure the oxygen required by the aerobic microorganism to biochemically oxidize the organic matter. What is organic matter found in the water? This microorganism through aerobic respiration biochemically oxidize this matter so that they can decompose. So if BOD is not good, that means pollution is, if BOD is high, that means pollution is high. If BOD is low, that means water is of a good quality. So we have to measure BOD to know the contamination of water in any river or other system, water body system. So it affects the amount of dissolved oxygen in river. BOD affects the amount of dissolved oxygen in the air. The higher the BOD, the lesser the oxygen available to aquatic life. So when BOD is higher, less oxygen is present in the water. So aerobic microorganisms do not decompose the organic matter which are present in the water. So BOD have to be low so that oxygen, you can say, more oxygen is present in the water and which help in the decomposition of organic matter which are present in the water with the help of the microorganism. So BOD is the measure of oxygen level in the water, or dissolved oxygen in the water, not only oxygen. So through this picture, you can clearly see O2 is used for the aerobic decomposition, for the photosynthesis, for the diffusion. So BOD is the measure of the presence of dissolved oxygen in the water. Higher the BOD, less the oxygen. Let's move on to the next topic called Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary. So this Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary lies in Kali Tiger Reserve. And this tiger reserve is in the Uttar Kannada district of Karnataka. When you look at the map of Karnataka, you found a district called Uttar Kannada, and in that district, Kali Tiger Reserve is present. And in that Kali Tiger Reserve, Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary, along with Ansi National Park, is found. So just look at the map. You can here clearly see this is the map of Karnataka. Here you can see Uttar Kannada district. So in this district, Kali River is, Kali Tiger Reserve is found. And in this Kali Tiger Reserve, Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary, and what is the name of the national park? Ansi National Park. Ansi National Park is found. So through this picture, you can clearly see this is the Ansi National Park logo of here, a logo of the gate of the Ansi National Park. When you enter, you see Ansi National Park, Ansi National Park. This is the image of the Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary, and this is this is the map where Kali Tiger Reserve is located. So this is the Uttar Kannada district of Karnataka. Kali Tiger Reserve is located. Through this reserve, Kali River is first. That's why this reserve got its name. So KTR, Kali Tiger Reserve, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a global biodiversity. The reserve deserves its name from the Kali River which flow through the region. So I have told you Kali River flow through the region. That's why this Tiger Reserve got its name, and as well as KTR is a UNESCO, remember, UNESCO World Heritage Site and a global biodiversity hotspot. The ecoregion found here, namely, are Northwestern Ghat montane rainforest and Northwestern Ghat moist deciduous forest. So Northwestern Ghat montane rainforest as well as moist deciduous forest are found in this Kali Tiger Reserve. So through this picture, you can clearly see these are the montane rainforest which are Northwestern Ghats montane rainforest. You can clearly see a very beautiful forest type structure, and these are found in the mountains. That's why mountain rainforest. And this here it is a deciduous, moist deciduous forest. It's not like a rainforest, some type of tropical forest. So these are the both types of moist deciduous forest as well as evergreen forest. Both are found in the Kali Tiger Reserve. Now let's move to the next topic called Bekal Fort. Bekal Fort dating back to 1650 AD. Okay, its date is 1650 AD and constructed by the Sivappa Nayak of the Keladi district. So Sivappa Nayak, a leader of the Keladi dynasty, found this Bekal Fort in 1658, and it is known as the largest fort in the Kerala. So in the state of Kerala, Bekal Fort is the largest fort made by the Sivappa Nayak of Keladi dynasty in 1650 AD. Throughout its history, the fort has witnessed the rise and fall of various dynasties. Bekal Fort saw the rise and fall of various dynasties throughout its history, and eventually come under the control of the kingdom of Mysore. Because at that time, Kerala, some part of Karnataka, some part of Andhra, and these are some part of, you can say, Telangana are come under the Mysore district, Mysore kingdom. So this Kerala, Bekal Fort of Kerala, later on come in under the kingdom of Mysore. Bekal Fort's unique structure. What is the unique structure of Bekal Fort? First, it seemingly emerging from the sea. When you look at the Bekal Fort, it looked like a emerged from the sea, like this picture. You can clearly see. It's look like this Bekal Fort is emerging from the sea. Okay, like from the sea, you can enter here and then move into the and go to the fort. So Bekal Fort is first feature is seemingly emerging from the sea. Second feature of a water tank, and this one is a water tank. So emerging from the sea as well as water tank. Next one is an observation tower attributed to Tipu Sultan. In this fort, you can also see observation tower which is attributed to Tipu Sultan. So observation tower is here. This one is the observation tower and it is attributed to the Tipu Sultan. So first seemingly from the sea, seemingly coming from the sea, then water tank and then observatory. Next one is zigzag entrance. When you look at the entrance of this Bekal Fort, it is like zigzag from here, from this side, from that side. So it is a zigzag entrance. Defensive trenchage. When you look at the fort, there are many various defensive trenches are made under it. So here, this side, these are the defensive trenches. These are the defensive trenches. So these are the feature of the Bekal Fort. Next one is strategically places holes in the outer walls for naval defense. So they put holes in the outer walls for naval defense because it is situated to the very near to the ocean. So for the naval defense system, they put hole in walls so that if any threat happens, they can attack through these holes on the ships. Next one is its solid construction is reminiscent of forts like Thalassery Fort and Sant Angelo Fort in Kannur, both built by the Dutch. So Dutch built the fort of Thalassery Fort as well as Angelo Fort in Kannur district, and the solid structure of Bekal Fort is look like or reminiscent of the forts like Thalassery and Sant Angelo due to its solid construction. Remember, this fort is important, solid construction. So due to its solid construction, this fort Bekal Fort is a look like a Thalassery Fort and Sant Angelo Fort, and both these forts are made by Dutch, but Bekal Fort is made by the Sivappa Nayak. So let's move on to the next one, called Indus Valley Civilization, or simply called as IVC. So what was IVC? It is a Bronze Age civilization dating back to 3300 to 1300 BC. A mature period is 2600 to 1900 BC, extending from what today is a northeast Afghanistan to Pakistan and northwest India. When you look at the map, I think I forgot to put the map here. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. I forgot to put the map here, but yeah. When you look at the map of the world, here, this one is India, here Pakistan, and here Afghanistan. So IVC is northeast Afghanistan. This is the map of Afghanistan. So northeast of it, just a minute, northeast of Afghanistan to Pakistan, and then northwest of India. So this is the northwest of India. This is the northeast of Afghanistan. This one is Pakistan. So IVC is spread in these regions. Its mature period, remember, its mature period 2600 to 1900 BCE, and its complete period 3300 to 1300 BCE. Along with ancient Egypt, Mesopotamian, it was one of the three early civilizations of the old world. So three early civilizations of the old world is ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and IVC. And of the three, the most widespread. And of the three, Egypt are older, three are Egyptian, Mesopotamian, and IVC. And IVC is the most widespread civilization. It flourished in the basin of Indus River. Okay, in the this is the also of the Indus. Just a minute. If this is the map of, so this is the Indus River system. So IVC is spread in this region. What are the burial practice of IVC? Dead bodies were placed in the north-south direction. They practice the when any human being is died, they place that body in the north-south direction, extended inhumation, and we are accompanied by food, pottery, and jewelry. The dead bodies are accompanied by food, pottery, as well as jewelry, and dead bodies are placed in this direction, and it is extended to inhumation. The graveyard was within the settlement. If this is the settlement of IVC, so graveyard are in the settlement. They practice three types of burials. First, complete, then fractional, and then cremation. Complete burial, they completely bury the body. In fractional burial, they bury the bone after exposure of the body to the birds and beasts. So they expose the body to the birds and beasts, and the remaining bones are buried. In cremation, they burn it and then bury the ashes. So complete burial, partial burial, and then cremation. In cremation, they burn the body and the ashes they you can say bury the ashes. So in third one, burial of ashes take place. In second one, burial of bones places in, and in first one, complete body is buried. What is the significance? It shows their strong belief in the life after death. They, you can say, when they bury the bodies, they put food, pottery, as well as jewelry. That means they have a strong belief life after birth. When people rebirth take place, then they use the jewelry, pottery, as well as food for their survival, which was similar to the belief system of other contemporary civilization. And this belief system is also present in the contemporary civilization. However, the items kept in were not items kept in IVC were not so expensive as other civilizations, unlike the elites in Egypt and Mesopotamia. In items put, you can say, items buried alongside with the dead bodies are pottery, jewelry, as well as food. But in IVC, these items are not so expensive as the contemporary civilization of Egyptian and Mesopotamian. When they bury the elite, they bury some expensive things along with the dead bodies. Okay, let's move on to the next one called some other dimension of IVC. So let's compare the civilization: Mesopotamian, Nile, Yellow, and IVC. So in the Indus Valley civilization differs from other ancient civilization because inequality levels were far lower than other civilization. Inequality level in other civilization is far much than IVC. This was because the Indus, unlike the other rivers, changed its course often. Indus River changed its course often than other rivers which are present in the contemporary civilization. This changed the structure of the society of the IVC. This, since river changes its course, so it changes the structure of the society. So there is a very less privilegation of inequality. But in Nile River, in river alongside the Mesopotamian region, river along the Chinese civilization are not changing its course very rapidly. So on that region, inequality is very prominent. But in the Indus Valley, this is not much higher. So let's compare the various civilization. First one is period. Period of IVC is 2600 to 9000 BC. It's mature period. Nile is 3100 to 1070. Mesopotamian 4000 to 2500, and yellow is 5000 to 300. So oldest one is yellow, then Mesopotamian, then Nile, and then IVC. Okay, but it ended in 3000 BC. It ended in 1900. It ended in 10,070. So latest Nile one is the latest one. Yellow one is the earlier one in terms of their existence and disappearance. Location of Indus Valley is South Asia, Pakistan, and Northwest India, some part of Northeast Afghanistan. Nile is Northeast Africa. When you look at the map of Africa, so northeast, this side, Nile, because here Nile River is flowing, so this Nile civilization is just here. Mesopotamian in Middle East, Iraq, and surrounding area. Okay. Nowadays Iraq, that earlier called Mesopotamia. So here two Euphrates and one other river is flowing from here. So this civilization prosper here. Then Yellow River in East Asia called China. Key cities of this civilization are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro of IVC, Memphis and Thebes of Nile, Uruk and Babylon of Mesopotamia, and Anangyang of Yellow River. What are the writing system? Undeciphered script in IVC, hieroglyphs, hieratic script in Nile, cuneiform in Mesopotamian, and oracle bone script in Yellow. In Chinese civilization, religion polytheistic because we found mother goddess, polytheistic because emphasis on pharaoh as a divine. In case of Nile, in case of Mesopotamia, it is also polytheistic because emphasis on city-state patron deity. Here, we found mother goddess in IVC. In case of Nile, we emphasize pharaoh as a divine. In Mesopotamia, we emphasize on the city-state patron, and in Yellow River, we ancestor worship with some evidence of shamanism and totemism. Shamanism and totemism are some types of ritual practice in which people talk with the spirit of animals and plants. Architecture in IVC, large plant cities with brick building, public bath and sewage system. In case of Nile, pyramids, temples and monumental tombs. In Nile, in Mesopotamia, ziggurats. Ziggurats are a, you can say, step-like pyramids, palaces and monumental gates. In yellow, in Chinese, large walled cities with ceremonial architecture and burials of elite. So burials of elite and ceremonial structure are found in the Chinese civilization. Nowadays, also we know that Great Wall of China and other architectural or you can say historical places. When you go to the China, you see very historical places. There, large walled cities are present. In terms of trade, IVC traded with Mesopotamian and Gulf region for luxury goods. Nile also traded with Nubia, Levant, and Mesopotamia for luxury goods. These Mesopotamia traded with IVC and Persian Gulf region for luxury goods because exchange happened. So IVC traded with, you can say Mesopotamia. So Mesopotamia traded with IVC. Nile traded with Mesopotamia. So they are traded with Persian Gulf and Gulf region for luxury goods. Chinese civilization traded with Southeast Asia, Korea, and Japan, not in that region. So they are much restricted to South Asian region, Japan, and Korea for luxury goods. What are the reason of their decline? For IVC, it is unknown or potential. Many people thought that due to the environmental factors or invasion. For Nile, it is conquered. Nile civilization is conquered by the foreign invaders and assimilated into the larger empires. Chinese civilization in the same manner conquered and assimilated into the larger empire. But for Mesopotamia, declined due to the political instability and invasion. So Mesopotamia declined due to the political instability and invasion. Nile and China is conquered and assimilated, and IVC is due to the climate change. So I hope you remember all the important points, all the comparison of IVC, Nile, Mesopotamian, and Yellow River civilization. Now let's look at the important term which we discussed above. So what is ziggurat? We see in Nile architecture is ziggurat. So ziggurat is a pyramidal stepped. I think ziggurat we found in Mesopotamia, not in Nile. In Nile, we found pyramids, but in Mesopotamia we found ziggurat. So ziggurat is a pyramid stepped temple tower. You can clearly see pyramid stepped temple tower. Here are steps. It's look like a pyramid, but here step is there. You go there. After reaching there, you move this side or that side. Here go above, then move this side or that side, then go above, then move this side or that side, then go above, and then you can rotate. You can travel here in a periphery. So it is a pyramid step temple tower that is architectural and religious structure in the major city of Mesopotamia, now in Iraq, from approximately 2200 to 500 BC. The ziggurat was always built with the core of mud brick. Core of ziggurat is a mud brick and the exterior covered with the baked brick. So remember, core is mud brick and exterior is the baked brick in the ziggurat, and it is just ritual site of Mesopotamians. What is pyramid? Which we see in the Nile civilization. Pyramid is a structure whose outer surface is triangular. You can clearly see in this picture, the outer surface is triangular and are covered to a single step at the top. Converge to a single step at the top. When they converge, when this triangular structure converge, it converges to a single step to the top. See, clearly see. This side you can reach to the top, from this side you can reach to the top, from other side you can reach to the top. So they are single step at the top when they converge, making the shape roughly pyramid in a geometrical sense. We understand in the mathematics geometry, so it form a geometry in the mathematical sense. The base of the pyramid can be trilateral, quadrilateral, or any of the polygon shape. Its base is either trilateral or quadrilateral or conical shape, but when they converge to a single point. As such, the pyramid has at least 3 outer triangular surfaces. Okay, so at least, not only 3. Pyramids have at least 3 outer triangular surfaces. They are more than 3, but at least 3 triangular surface, outer triangular surface. So it is the important concept related to pyramids. Large wall in ancient city of China, you can clearly see these are the architecture of the Chinese civilization or Yellow River civilization. They have large walled cities. What is Shamanism is a system of religious practice. So it is a system of religious practice. Historically, it is often associated with the indigenous and tribal societies. Earlier, it is associated with the indigenous tribal societies and involve belief that summons. What are summons? A connection to the other world. Summons have the power to heal the sick, communicate with his spirit, and escort soul of the dead to the afterlife. So they tribals and indigenous people believe that summons who are they consider summons as a connection with the outer world who can heal, talk to the spirit, as well as escort the soul to the dead to the afterlife. So these are the religious practice of the indigenous and tribal societies. What is totemism? Totemism system is a belief in which humans are said to have a kinship or a mystical relation with the spirit being, such as an animal and plant. So in totemism, they believe that humans have a mystical relations with plant and with spirits being like plant and animals. The entity or totem is thought to interact with the given kin group or an individual and serve as their emblem and symbol. So in ancient time, many people uses the system of totemism, and they consider that object speak to them or their community, and they consider that object as a totem. For example, like fish mask, they consider fish as a totem, and that fish animal they have a mystical power to communicate with the ship, and that fish are become the emblem of that community. So I hope you understand about this civilization and important terminology mentioned in this. Let's move on to the next topic called Zealandia. What is Zealandia? Zealandia is an underwater continent located in the southeast of Australia. When you look at the map, you can clearly see this is the Australia, and southeast of Australia is this is a Zealandia continent, and it is an underwater continent. So Zealandia is an underwater continent located in the southeast of Asia. It was recognized as the Earth's eighth continent in 2017. In 2017, we recognized this Zealandia as the eighth continent. Okay. Zealandia formed around 83 million years ago. So it is formed around 83 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period. So when you look at the geological time scale, here you can clearly categorize Cretaceous stage. So the late stage of Cretaceous, like somewhere here, this Zealandia is found around 83 million years ago. This is the million years. So in the late Cretaceous, Zealandia is formed around 83 million years ago, and started as a part of the supercontinent Gondwana before breaking away. So earlier it is a part of the supercontinent Gondwana, but later on it break away from this continent. So remember, Zealandia, southeast of Australia. Zealandia is the underwater continent in the southeast of Australia. It is a eighth continent. It is declared as the eighth continent in 2017. It is from 83 million years ago, somewhere around late Cretaceous period, and earlier it is a part of the supercontinent Gondwana, but later on it's a part away from that, breaking away from that. So let's move on to the next topic called indigenous product that receive the GI tag. So there are three indigenous products from the Arunachal Pradesh who receive the GI tag. First one is yak charpi, khameti rice, and thangsa textile. Remember, thangsa textile, khameti rice, and yak charpi. What are these? Just talk. Let's understand some of facts related to these three GI tag products. So these three products have received the GI tag from the GI registry. So GI registry did consider these three products as a GI tag, and these all three are from the Arunachal Pradesh. So what is yak charpi? It is a fermented milk product, or simply called it a cheese, made from the unique Arunachali yak breed. So this cheese is made from the unique Arunachali yak breed. That's why they got GI tag. Other cheese which are made from the other animal are not got the status of yak charpi. But cheese which are made of the unique Arunachali yak breed are considered as a yak charpi, and it got a GI tag from the GI registry. What is the you can say benefit of it? This cheese has a high percentage of protein. It also contains omega-3 fatty acid, which is beneficial for our body, and antioxidant. Okay, so high rich in protein, omega-3 fatty acid, and antioxidant. It is a source of calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E. So it is very nutritious because it is a source of magnesium, phosphorus, calcium, zinc, as well as vitamin A, D, E, and it also contains a large percentage of protein and omega-3 fatty acids as well as antioxidant. Let's talk about khameti rice. What is khameti rice? It is a sticky rice produced in the Namsai district of Arunachal Pradesh. When you I forgot to put the map of Arunachal Pradesh, but when you look at the map of the Arunachal Pradesh, here you found a Namasi district, and in that district, this sticky ice is found. What is feature? Known for its taste, it is very tasty, contain insoluble fiber, promoting beneficial gut bacteria. So it is very tasty and also contain insoluble fiber which promote the gut bacteria, beneficial for the gut bacteria. Let's talk about Thangsa textile. It is product of the Thanga tribe in the Changlang district of Arunachal Pradesh. Again, in the look at the map of the Arunachal Pradesh, and then Thangla district, and in that district, Thanga tribe is live, Thanga tribe inhabit, and that product is made by that tribe. Thanga tribe is mainly based in the Changlang and consists of sub-tribes. So this tribe also consists of many sub-tribe, and it is mainly found in the district of Changlang. And that tribe made Thangsa textile. What is the feature? This textile is made for their exotic design, known for their exotic design and their colors. So remember, in Changla district, Thangsa tribes made Thangsa textile. In Namsai district, this sticky rice is found. And this fermented, or this you can say yak chirpy, is found in the whole of Arunachal Pradesh, which are produced by the yak breed. So we talk about its feature and its districts. Now let's move on to the next topic called OTT, over the top. So TRAI, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, was established with effect from the 20th February 1997 by an act of parliament called the TRAI Act 1997. So through the TRAI Act 1997, this TRAI institution is formed and come into effect in 20th February 1997. It regulates the telecom services, including fixation and revision of tariff. It revised as well as fixed the tariff of telecom services, which were earlier vested with the central government. So this telecom services is earlier vested with the central government, but through the TRAI Act, TRAI is formed and they regulate the telecom services, fixation and revision of tariff. What is the mission of TRAI? TRAI mission is to create and nurture condition of growth for the telecommunication. So its mission is to create and nurture the condition for the growth of telecommunication in the country in a manner and at a pace which enable India to play a leading role in emerging global information society. So it's a very important role. It create atmosphere and nurture the condition for the growth of telecommunication at a manner and pace which enable India to play a leading role in the emerging global information society. It is very important because nowadays many developed countries are far more ahead than India. So through TRAI, government want to expand the reach of telecommunication as well as increase its pace so that it contribute in the development of our country and spread of telecommunication in the whole country. One of the main objectives of the TRAI is to provide a fair and transparent policy environment. Okay, very important. Its objective is to provide fair and transparent policy environment which promote level playing field and facilitate fair competition. Through fair and transparency, try to promote level playing field for all the players as well as facilitate fair competition, not a biasness. So TRAI Act was amended through ordinance in 2000. It is formed in 1997, but in 2000 through ordinance it is amended and established the TDSAT, Telecommunication Dispute Settlement and Appellate Tribunal. So through amendment, with the help of ordinance, we amended the TRAI Act and it established the TDSAT, Telecommunication Dispute Settlement and Appellate Tribunal, and it take over the adjudicatory and disputes function from TRAI. So this TDSAT take over the adjudicatory as well as dispute function. Earlier, this function are vested with the TRAI, but with the formation of TDSAT, these services, adjudicatory as well as dispute function are go in the jurisdiction of TDSAT. So TD set was set up to adjudicate any dispute. Remember, adjudicate any dispute between the licensor and licensee. First one, between two and more service provider like Airtel and Jio, between the service provider and a group of consumer like people who are using Jio and Jio company, and to hear and dispose appeal against any directional decision or order of TRI. If TRI give any order, direction or decision, so if any people appeal against it, then TD set dispose the cases regarding it. So it dispose the casing related to on a four level, between license and licensee, between two or more service provider, between some service provider and a group of consumer, and on the behalf of the directional decision and order of a TRI. So TD set in India, which are come into existence in 2000 through the amendment, has ruled that OTT over the top streaming platform like Disney Plus, or Netflix, and Sony Live do not fall under the jurisdiction of the TRI. Okay, so TD set ordered that OTT are not come under the jurisdiction of TRI, and TRI do not impose the rules and regulation of OTT. Very, very important, because there's a debate going on, either OTT come under TRI or not. So TD said give their order, give their, you can say, ruling that TD said OTT do not come under the jurisdiction of TRI. Instead, they are governed by the IT rules of 2021 as notified by the IT Ministry. Okay, so they are not come under OTT, not come under the TRI, but they OTT are governed by the IT rules 2021, which is notified by the IT Ministry, Information and Technology Ministry. So clearly see, these are the YouTube, Prime Video, Netflix, Disney, Sony Live, G5, Boot. These are just OTT platform. So it is not come under TRI. It is governed by the Information Technology Guidelines Rules 2020. Let's move on to the next topic called National Framework for Climate Services, or NFCS. What is NFCS? India is launching its first national level framework for climate services, known as the NFCS. So India launches its first national level framework for climate services, known as National Framework for Climate Services, and it is led by the IMD, Indian Meteorological Department. So remember, it is the first for India. So India launches its first national level, on the level of national, on the national level for the framework for climate services, and its name is same, NFCS. The NFCS aim to provide climate information and services to various sectors. So this NFCS provided climate information and services to various sectors like agriculture, energy, disaster management, health, and water, to help them make informed decisions and mitigate climate risk. When IMD give data related to climate information to these sectors, they, with the help of their data, they make an informed decision and mitigate their risks related to climate. NFCS is based on the Global Framework for Climate Services, GFCS. So remember, NFCS is based on GFCS. GFCS is earlier coming to force, NFCS is now coming to force. So NFCS is based on the GFCS, which focuses on generating high quality climate data and information. GFCS is focused on generating high quality climate data and information with priority sector including agriculture, energy, health, water, and disaster risk management. So these 5 are the priority sector, and GFCS collect high quality data, and NFCS based on the GFCS. Countries like Switzerland, China, Germany, and UK. Remember, 4 important countries: Germany, Switzerland, Switzerland, UK of the European countries, China is the Asian country. They have already launched the NFCS, while several other are in an advanced stage of implementation. So remember, NFCS is a country-based and GFCS is a global-based. So NFCS is based on the GFCS. And Switzerland, Germany, UK, and China are launched GFCS. India is now launching it, NFCS. These 4 countries launch NFCS, India is launching it, and many other advanced countries are in an advanced stages of launching it. So remember, the 5 priority areas are energy, health, water, agriculture and food security, and disaster risk management. So health, water, energy, then DRR and agriculture, food, forestry. These are the importance of climate services. So I hope you understand it, NFCS and its role. Remember, IMD is the leading institution in case of India. Switzerland, China, UK, and Germany are launching NFCS. India is launching it, and many other developed countries are in an advanced stage of it. And NFCS is based on the GFCS because GFCS collect the important data related to climate, and the major area are health, agriculture, disaster, water, as well as energy. Let's move on to the next topic called Morocco. Morocco, a North African country. If you see in this picture, this is the map of Africa. Uh, this is the map of Africa. Morocco come here, and here is Strait of Gibraltar. So Morocco is a northwestern. This is the north and then west side, north and west. So it is a North African country. Morocco is a North African country bordering the Atlantic Ocean. Here you can clearly see it border the Atlantic Ocean. Here it border the Mediterranean Sea. So it border the Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea, is distinguished by its Berber, Arabian, and European cultural influence. So in Morocco, you found Berber, Arabian, and European cultural. Who are Berber? Berber are indigenous people of North Africa, west of Nile Valley. So here, if here Nile Valley is present, so west of Nile. So these in this region, indigenous people of Africa is called Berber. So in Morocco, you see the Berber, Arabian, that means people of Arabian region, and then European means European people or of European region. So all these three types of cultural influence are found in Morocco. So very important. Two water body, Atlantic, Mediterranean, three types of culture, and its location is in the north of Africa. So through this map, you can clearly understand the location of Morocco. Now let's move on to the regions near Israel. When you look at this map, this is the country Israel. Okay, so Israel touching the Mediterranean Sea. This is the Gaza Strip. This is the West Bank. Gaza Strip also touching the Mediterranean Sea, but West Bank not. Okay, Jerusalem is in the middle of this whole region. That means Jerusalem is not touching the Mediterranean Sea, and it is in the confluence zone of West Bank. As we know that West Bank and Gaza is occupied the Palestine, and the rest of it is by the Israel. Jerusalem is in the control of the, I think, West Bank, but not complete control over it. Jerusalem is controlled by both Israel as well as Palestine. Capital of Israel is Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv. Okay. So I do not clearly know the position of Jerusalem, but through this map you can clearly see Jerusalem is come under the region of Israel. So West Bank, Gaza, occupied by the Palestine. Rest of the area is occupied by Israel. Jerusalem come under the control of Israel, and capital of Israel is Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv also touches the Mediterranean. When Gaza also touches the Mediterranean, Israel touches the of course, Israel touches the Mediterranean, but West Bank not. Dead Sea is touches the West Bank, as well as Jordan River create a boundary of West Bank with the other country. So I think this is the end of lecture. I think talk about important topics. These are, I think, 30 topics. So through this video, I just summarize all this topic and put important fact related to each and every issue. So I hope you learn this video, enjoy this video, gain some perspective, some knowledge out of it. So namaskaram. Thank you. Keep learning, keep growing.